All right, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey everybody, and welcome to our weekly show and tell. This is our once-a-week event at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where you, the viewer, get to show off your project, your maker space, your cosplay, your soldering, your lathe, your pick and place, whatever it is that you're working on, you're building, you're crafting, you're hacking on. We'd love to see it, and we'd love to see new faces as well. So even if you're shy, just take a risk, show off. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe it'll just be broadcast on the internet. And recorded for the rest of your life. But that's not so bad.
We were at Maker Faire DC last weekend, and we met a lot of people that were on the show and tell. So thank you everyone who is at Maker Faire who came up to us. You're a lot taller than you are on the screen. Yeah, it turns out people aren't this big. They're actually regular-sized people. Okay, so let's start with Tony D. Tony D, what you got this week?
Hey, yeah, so I want to show off this piece of paper here. This is a certificate of successful completion of examination for the ham radio technician license.
Woo!
Yay!
Yeah, I guess it's the easy license to get, but the basic one, it gives you enough power to get on the air and start broadcasting. So I don't have any radios yet, so I just got the license on Monday. But it's just in time I found out field days this weekend where like hams everywhere just go wild and there's all kinds of activities and things. So that'll be my introduction, I guess. We're going to dive into the deep end and start having fun with it. So, but yeah, I want to mention that. And then Monday I did a little live stream on a piece of software for the Raspberry Pi called Pi Hole. And it's like a black hole, like it sucks in all the light, but this sucks in all the advertising. So you set it up on your network, and then it gets rid of advertisements. You use it as a DNS server, and it blocks all the advertisements at a DNS level. So really cool, like your phone, your iPad, your tablet, whatever can connect to it, and you don't have to install an ad blocker on it. Very simple install. I was really impressed. They've put a lot of polish into making it easy to use. So cool thing. Check that out on the YouTube channel if you want to see a little like quick look at it. So.
And all it does is it connects to your local network and you use it as a DNS server?
Exactly, and it just blocks. It has a list of these are the known advertisement DNS, and it even works in like applications like YouTube, the app on iOS. It seemed to block ads there. And you know, there's a whole can of worms of like, do you want to run an ad blocker or not? But it's nice that they've got a good option there if you want to. So.
I've got a question for you. Can you reverse it via code and only show ads? Like every time you go to a website.
You probably could. I mean, because it's all of your DNS lookups. Every time a web page gets some data, it's going to request DNS, and you could probably intercept that and say, you know, go to random advertisement instead.
No, I just mean like browse the web, like go to CNN, see the ads, go to YouTube, just see the ads. Try that.
Right. There you go. Yeah, strip that could be an art project. Look at that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. The worst part is that's what the internet's eventually going to be. So
exactly. Yeah. This is preview. The Willie Gibson future of the internet.
Internet 2030. Brought to you by Time.
2030. I'm betting like 2020 maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Cool. Thanks for the update. Congratulations on your ham exam.
See and hear you on Ham Sunday.
Yes.
Our other show.
Hey, Pedro.
No, Pedro. Welcome to the ad-free show and tell.
Hey, guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, so this week's project is sort of like a PSA, I guess you could call it. You've seen us do a couple of project videos with quadcopters, drones, so we thought we'd do a sort of a tutorial type project video where we show you how easy it is to register yourself and your drone with the FAA. So that's what we did. So I registered to fly safe as a hobby, not as a commercial, but as a hobby. It's Pedro as well. And Pedro, you put together like a quick guide on the Adafruit learning system.
Yeah, so this
show how to do that.
Yeah, so it's for the hobby version of this. The new rules for commercial drones were released yesterday. A ton of rules on there, like don't fly over people, don't fly over events. Don't stick guns on your drones, since there's a case going on right now with that.
They specifically had to say don't put a gun on a drone?
No, but it is an actual real case that's in court right now.
Okay.
Somebody did put their gun on a drone.
Man, they really did.
And it's funny, too, because where they flew it was on unnavigable space, which was like under trees, so it's not really regulated by FAA, so it's one of those like kind of weird trials where they have to like figure out
edge case.
Yeah, I know, one of those weird edge cases. And then another weird one too is people do like FPV. Does it fall under the 107 restriction, and so there's still a bunch of cases that are like up in the air. But for now, if you're flying as a hobby, you still are gonna have to register it. And then
it's only gonna put a 3D printer on a drone and then 3D print a gun in the air. I mean, like.
that's actually a stunt we're gonna do. Not the gun part, just
we're
stick
gonna
a printer on a
Yeah, give it a
the little M3D. Yeah, the little M3D. Just hover and print something small.
Then
And
drop
and drop it. Yeah. And then Noah came up with since we're always shooting a bunch of drone scenes now with the new Phantom 4, Noah came up with this sweet little Ninja Flex covers for the motor, since the little nubs that hold on to the propellers on there can get caught up into the mesh fabric that we stick the
That's cool.
the camera bags. So it's just a little Ninja Flex little caps that go on there.
Cute.
That's smart.
So cool little thing you can grab. It's on our Thingiverse account. You can pick that up. Little nubbins, yeah.
Okay.
And
Nice
that's what we got for this week.
All right. Thanks for
All right.
having
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for doing that public service thing, because it makes sense. Like what the maker world is getting tested. Essentially, if we're responsible, we'll probably be able to have nice things.
Yeah.
If
Definitely.
we're not, then
No nice things.
if they outlaw drones, and only outlaws will have drones.
Oh yeah.
Drone outlaw.
Drone outlaw coming soon. All right. Next up, Ron. I think this is the first time Ron's been here. So Ron, unmute your mic and show us your project. Nice shirt.
Hey, Ron.
Wait.
Yeah, we can hear you. We could. Now we can't.
No.
You.
It worked.
Whatever you did the first time. So.
We heard you, but then we stopped hearing you.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, you're back now.
So, I was going to do the cupcake, but I really screwed up the soldering job, so I decided to do this. It's kind of a bigger build.
I feel like there's a dog burn. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay, so that's your custom PC that you put together?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got going on in there?
Okay, so I have an AMD FX processor, a GeForce GTX 760, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, and I'm planning on making it a Hackintosh. So.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. I do have one question for you guys. That what was it? Can I ask you a question about the Adafruit kits?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, do you guys have any easy kits? Because I've gotten a lot of Raspberry Pi kits and stuff, and they always turn out like this.
Oh, so you skipped ahead to the more advanced ones, huh?
That
Yeah.
one's one of the toughest ones we
Yeah.
have. Like a TVB Gone kit's way easier than.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, I would start with a beginning soldering kit to get your skills up. The cupcake is really fun, and you'll be able to go back and get it working, but it's a very tough one if you don't already have a lot of soldering skill.
Yeah, and I have none.
That's
So-
fine. I mean, that's why we have the other kits to start off on. That was a really good question. So tell you what, instead of just a show and tell sticker, when you email support@adafruit.com, tell them to send you as seen on the show and tell sticker and a TVB Gone kit.
Oh, ATV be gone.
Yeah,
Okay, let me write that down.
all good. So, and then you can come back on the show after you make that. And it's mostly because you're wearing a Nirvana shirt.
Okay.
So it worked
Thank
out
you.
for you.
And what do I email at?
Support@adafruit.com, and tell them you're on the show and tell, and for them to send you a show and tell sticker, because you get one of those you can put on your computer, and then a TV be gone, and then you can cause some mischief.
And it's a great practice for soldering.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just making sure you have the right temperature and the right kind of solder. Like it's a lot about the tools, just getting used to those.
And all right, thank you so much.
Okay,
Right on.
thank you, Ron. I'm not sure Ron isn't me like 30 years ago.
Oh, well,
Like a
actually,
portal.
my name's Parker, but this is my dad's email account.
Ah, okay, so you
Hi,
can
Parker.
the mysteries.
Ron Jr.
Okay, thanks, Parker.
All right, thanks, Parker.
All right,
And I changed to say Parker.
next up. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Unmute your mic and show us your project.
Hey guys, so I actually have been working with the circuit playgrounds here, so let me switch. What I really wanted to do is I ordered 3 of them, and I've been trying to work up some lesson plans so we can start teaching some programming with Arduino. And so far what I've got is the basic LED blink. I've been going through like the Arduino lesson plans and kind of adapting them, although I haven't had to change the code that much, just kind of remapping some of the pins. So this one does the debounce. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can kind of see the red LED turning on and off there. This one is the from the NeoPixel library with the button change toggle there, and then of course this is the sound reactive one. So I'm trying to go through and create guides for the makerspace, but then also hopefully for you guys in order to go through all the different components here, from like blinking a light, button input, the NeoPixel LEDs, the audio sensor, temperature sensor, accelerometer, all those kinds of things. And then hopefully we can run a couple of workshops for the Seattle Maker Faire this year, because we're talking with them, and it looks like they're going to give us a pretty big booth so we can get some kids doing some robotics stuff and doing some programming.
Yeah, that's cool. That's part of the reason that Circuit Playground was designed. It was like people were like, we wanted to do workshops and then let kids take it home with them, not just do the workshop and then like, no, you have to recycle it for. So for Circuit Playground, it's like you can take it home, and then at home they can do even more. So
yeah,
get
you don't need to solder at all.
Yeah, you just plug
yeah, and I've done like I've tried to design kits like this for a lot of teachers and educators, and they end up being so expensive, and there's so many little parts they have to buy. We spend half the class teaching them how to use a breadboard, and this they can just jump into programming. And I wasn't even able to include an accelerometer in any of those things. So definitely really good job on that one.
Yay!
Oh, thank you.
We found like everything is like, you know, what's the cheapest light sensor, the cheapest temperature sensor, but it works. You know, a thermistor is $0.02, but it works really well. You know, they just do a little bit of math and you can figure out the temperature. You don't need a $1.50 temperature sensor.
Yeah, I guess I get to say these stories for just like another week, but while we were at the White House, a lot of educators are like, thank you, this is exactly what we've needed. So that's cool.
Yay.
Anyways, all right. Well, thank you so much, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.
All right.
Can't wait to see all these kids learning.
Next up, Carter, unmute your mic and show us your project.
Hey, Carter.
Hello, test?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yep. What's up, Carter?
Hear me, great. First time on, so this is something I'm just basically testing whether or not I could even join and share with you. So you hear me, so next step is, does screen share work?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see a Raspberry
Two
Pi.
for two.
There's a matrix.
All right, excellent.
Blink something.
So basically what you're seeing there is a Raspberry Pi, original Model B. That's kind of interesting. Good old 2 USBs.
Yeah.
The old
Historic.
big card.
Back when they were made out of wood.
And so this is more of a software thing than a hardware thing, but you can see there's an 8x8 LED on there. And I've made several projects using those, and I wrote this little program to help me work out various bitmaps for the display, because I got tired of kind of writing little 1 and 0 matrices and running a program back and forth and back and forth. So I used Tinker, I'm not sure how you say it. It's kind of a GUI that's available in all Pythons. And you just fire it up, and it's pretty straightforward. It has an 8x8 GUI of checks, and as you would expect, you just check, you check, you check.
That's cool.
You can turn them off and on individually.
That's
and
like
off you go. So you just kind of,
it's like
just kind of play away as you wish. Yeah, kind of Minesweeper without the bombs. So you make whatever you want, and whenever you're happy with whatever you have, you can. Well, clear can clear.
Yeah.
There's that. It doesn't prompt you, so it's kind of it's a big gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Careful.
There's a save button. I'll show you what that does in a bit. But what I did in my projects was I realized 8 × 8 is 64. So you could represent this thing in just a 64-bit value. And so down here is a constantly updated 64-bit hex readout that represents this. And in my code, I just bit shift through that and set the pixels one by one. So you can copy and paste that out as you go. But if you save, it doesn't look like it did anything, but back in the prompt, or back in the folder, you see it created a
Sweet.
Yeah.
JPEG. And you could hack the code to be whatever you want, but you can see it's just a simple block of zeros and ones, so you could copy paste that or pipe that in if you want to do it that way, which is how I see a lot of people do it. Just for grins and giggles, I used Phil, public Python imaging library, to go ahead and also put out a little JPEG. I thought this would be useful for documentation. If you wanted to like create a whole bunch of these and have like a little JPEG representation of them for documentation purposes. So there you go.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
I'm going to save this part of the clip of the show because no one ever talks about it. And for documentation reasons, we built this thing.
That's super smart.
Yeah, thank you for thinking about it. Are you a professional developer or something like that? Because normally people don't talk like that.
No, not really.
Okay, that's pretty
Just
nice.
kind of realizing that it's more and more important to like have stuff documented for the web.
Yeah, no, that's
Sharing
fantastic.
projects to tell people how you did things.
Yeah, that's what we found is if we're not documenting all along and doing stuff, then a lot of knowledge gets lost. So that's cool. All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay. Email support@adafruit.com and we'll send you a real sticker, not a
Cyber sticker.
cyber
It'll
sticker.
be on the bottom of your Raspberry Pi
Next
Model
one,
B.
maybe.
It's all good. Okay, Scott, unmute your mic and
Minute of Drone.
yeah, how's it going?
All right, it's going pretty well. Next week I'll be at the manufacturer's place, so should have somebody with me also. So that should be cool. What I wanted to give you was a background on what I'm making. So I'm not going to show you what I'm making. I'm going to show you what I'm replacing. So I'm making a flight controller for quads, and here's an example of not one that I've made, but one that I've flown before. And it's a STM32 chip with an accelerometer and gyro. And I've talked a little about this before, but I just wanted to go into a little bit more detail on the software side because I've been doing a lot of software hacking. This one, or mine, is running a version called Beta Flight, and it's a fork of Clean Flight, which is also a fork of Base Flight.
Right.
It has all this like history. But the main job of that software is to read the accelerometer, or read the gyro in particular, and decide how to change the motor outputs to achieve the movement effects that you want, right? So that's the thing that's happening the most. And I think Noah and Pedro alluded to flight modes also. There's two main flight modes. One is self-level, which is like you let go of your controls and it just levels for you. And that's using the accelerometer to like position against gravity, basically, right? And then people typically learn to fly in that mode. But as you get more advanced, it's actually way easier in the long term to learn rate mode, which is your stick is changing the rate at which it's changing on a particular axis. So if you go left on your stick for a little while and then center, you'll still be spinning left, and then you have to go the opposite way to basically stop it. And that's kind of like how planes work too. So that's the more advanced version. And it's actually simpler in code-wise because there's a loop that's saying, like, what is my gyro and how far off am I from what I actually want to be doing? And then adjust the motors based on that. That's like a PID loop, which is a very common kind of systems control thing. So that's what the main task of the flight controller is on the STM32. And then there's all these ports that you can see here. So these are like motor outputs. You have serial outputs and the like. So that's kind of what it does. And let me grab.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
She walked in here at the right time.
Carter's cat looks kind of like your cat.
So this is Vin.
Okay.
She's a girl. It's like Vin Diesel, but she's not named after Vin Diesel.
Okay.
She's named after the Brandon Sanderson character.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so tilt left.
Huh?
Tilt the cat left. Okay.
This way?
Yeah. Tilt the cat right. All right, this cat is gyro stabilized.
All right. And so next week you're gonna show some manufacturing.
I'm not exactly sure where I'll be, but I'll probably have a guy who works with MacroFab with me, at least, on the show. I'm going to do their podcast also, so.
Okay, rad. Well, you can also, if you do a blog post or something or post video on YouTube, you can send us a link and we'll post it up.
Yeah, I'm planning on taking, like, they're doing all the manufacturing of my boards when I'm there, so I'm going to take tons of video and pictures and then post it later.
Okay, neat.
Be cool.
All right, well, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Vin.
I thought you were using the cat to show how the thing was stabilized. I was like,
oh, no.
The cat, it has 4 legs. You know the guy who made the cat?
Yeah, the dead cat configuration, yeah. That's spider quad. Spider quad
I had to bring that up.
Politically correct as a spider quad, not a dead cat configuration.
You had to bring it up. I just forgot about that.
For people who don't know, it was somebody who did a taxidermied cat on a quadcopter, but what the innovation of that configuration was the 2 front arms were further apart, wide, and that was so that when you had a GoPro, you wouldn't see the arms in the video. So,
it's innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can either call it dead cat or a spider quad, and spider quad's the PC way of saying it.
Yeah. All right.
Vin's like, I'm out of here.
Vin's like, dude, you're talking about flying dead cats. I'm out. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to Roberto and then see Scott's. Let's say we got about 5 minutes, so 2.5 minutes each. If you guys can stick to that, we can get you both in. Hey, Roberto.
We can't hear you.
You may want to unmute your mic.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, Maker Charades.
This is scoreboard.
All right. Well, he's got a webcam viewer and...
Is it like a Pico projector or something?
Yeah, it looks like a projector. And he's projecting something somewhere. And then the game controls are to the left, and it's home and away, so that's a score for sport ball.
It says scoreboard, based basketball.
Yeah.
2.
2 words.
It's like Internet of Things.
He's like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. It sounds sort of like some Internet of Things game control, maybe to have because maybe have gigantic LEDs or something.
Yeah. Well, I see home and away, and I see score, and then that's far away because he's viewing it via web camera, and he's on a web camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then there is it's a basketball scoreboard.
Yeah, that's what it says, but it's like there's logs.
Yeah. All right, he's gonna come back next time.
Okay.
Ding ding ding. All right, basketball. Yay!
Okay.
All right. There's this basketball team, the Cavs, that won this big game or something.
Well, remember when we were at the event, everyone was cheering for them.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Because nobody likes the Warriors.
They haven't won like anything since 1964.
Yay!
So in sport ball, this is a big deal. Anyways, okay.
See Scott.
All right. See Scott.
Hey guys, just a couple quick updates here. I've got the final versions of the boards I'm going to crank out next for Chrominius. These are the Euro boards for the Module B. A few modifications. Since these are the voice boards, I want to be able to plug them onto the back of various front panels, the little desktop suitcase, the Euro rack modules, and the larger 5U modules. I'll show you what a 5U frame looks like here in a second, but that is the board example. And pardon me, I somehow got a bit of a cold here. And then we have the front panel that matches it. There's a control board that fits in behind this panel and goes between the voice board you just saw and the front panel you just saw, and the voice board's not voice board, but the control board is a much simpler device. It's mainly, you can see it holds all of the switches and jacks and controls.
So it plugs in with the...
And you see there's a header at the top and header at the bottom, and that's where the voice board connects. So, and there's a bus connector on the side, so you can connect it to Module A, and you have a complete Chrominius system. When I have this one built, I'll demo it for you. If I can build an extra, and I'll send one to you. But anyway, moving on real quick. And of course, the Kickstarter's at 70%, 2 weeks to go, and I promise you I'll get some time to blog it out this weekend. But so far, so good. Back to me for a minute here.
Okay, we'll help get the word out.
Buy his synth.
But in the of course, in the meantime, I'm working on this is my prototype of a device I call the GX1 bandpass filter. The GX1 is this. If you look up Yamaha GX1 on the internet, it's an experimental synthesizer developed by the Yamaha Electron Organ team back in the early to mid 70s, and it was the basis for a lot of their custom chips later on. And if you were Stevie Wonder or Keith Emerson or Ben Anderson of ABBA or whoever, and you could afford one of these things, so they were $60,000 in 1975, you had access to this really nice machine. Well, my life's work is basically turning circuits like that into equivalent, what I call discrete equivalent circuits. And of course, my prototype is nice. It's nice. It mounts to a panel, and it's nice and thin and drops into a shallow box. But people in the Eurorack world revere width over depth. So I made this one. This one fits on a panel. It's 2 inches wide. This one fits on a panel that's 8/10 of an inch wide, 0.8 inches, or what they call 4 HP. And just to show you the kind of tolerance issues I run into here, here's I caliper. Here's one washer that is situated to work with the jacks, and it measures out at 0.7 millimeters. And here is another washer that comes from the same jack manufacturer, but they interchangeably include them. This one comes out at 0.4 millimeters. That 0.3 millimeter difference matters because the idea is when you put the jack nut on, just off the screen, when you put the jack nut on, you want it to look flush with the jack face. Yeah. And also, here's my one tiny beef with Oshpark, is when they send you a board, they're tab routed, and they don't clean the tabs up very well. And when you're making a board that has a panel and it has this close a tolerance, that little bit of shaving becomes a problem. This is why I have a washer situated between the jack and the panel. Well, if it's too thick a washer, it causes your nut not to attach correctly. Anyway, engineering is fun. Last item. Last item is I wanted to mention. Let me see if I'm going to put the URL up here so people can read about it. This is about Daphne Oram. This is one of the very important people in pioneering electronic music. She was the founder and first director of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. Well, somebody went and actually completed building her sequencer that she started on but never finished back in the 1950s. Essentially, it worked similar to the way that audio for film is done. You shine a light through a variable density piece of the film, and then a photocell picks it up and gives you a voltage output you can turn into your voice and music. Well, this device, I can flip real quick here. This device, this one here, lets you draw in real time on a piece of it's basically a light table, and you draw in real time.
Yeah.
And what it does is it slowly rotates to the left, and it goes into the sensor box, and you see below it a bunch of gate and voltage outputs that can be connected to your synthesizer and use it to realize your sequence or your melody or whatever you're playing. And that's what I have this week.
Okay, can you also email that to Lamore and I, and we'll blog it up too?
Sure. Yeah, in fact, there's another article I'll send you guys. It's about the 4 overlooked female pioneers of electronic music, and it's really worth a read. So I'll make sure that I get that.
Okay. I'll have one more White House story. Someone who's in politics said, we really like the Adafruit blog because you cover all sorts of things and you're bringing lots of people together to do technology. So I guess there's fun cat photos we do, but we also do a lot of important things and putting people in the spotlight. So thank you, Scott. We'll blog that up.
Yay!
All right, we're here every single week. We're going to do Ask an Engineer. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Ron Riley Parker. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Noam Pedro. Thank you, Scott. And thank you, Carter. Carter, what's your cat's name? Because you have a cat. You have a cat photo here. We know Vin is the other. What?
Sabotage.
Sabotage the cat. That's a cool cat.
Sabotage the cat.
I knew it was going to be a cool cat.
Totally.
Name. All
Sabotage and Vin can totally have an action movie together.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do Ask an Engineer. We'll see everybody here next week. And thank you so much, everyone, for being part of the show and tell. Let's do the next thing.
It's sabotage. Everybody.